What's up, Reds? Welcome to the Sunday Summary Talk Show on Nothing But Reds. And we are back. Today we're talking about Thiago. There's been developments in that story. And I'm your host, Kyle. And with me, as always, is Steven Norberry. We're going to get into Thiago. We're going to talk about Yasser Larouci potentially leaving the club. We'll discuss the Arsenal match a little bit and give us your thoughts on that. And then we'll get into the remaining fixtures of the season. So before we get started, if you're new and you're a diehard LFC fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can scroll over that logo in your bottom right-hand corner and subscribe, or subscribe down below the video. Steve, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, it was a rough couple of weeks. Yeah.
It has
a great
been.
couple of weeks for Liverpool. Trying to stay positive. We already won the league, so it's okay. But like, as anyone that's listened to this show knows, I was so dead set on the record, all the records. And like we don't deserve them. We did it to ourselves. We're not going down as the best team ever, even though I bet in a lot of folks' opinions we are. That Man City team was great, but we were basically indestructible. You have a little blip on the radar with Watford. You had a Man United draw. There's no reason we couldn't go undefeated the rest of the year. Like, we don't have to win every game, but losing to Arsenal.
To me, the Arsenal loss hurt more than the actual record. You know what I mean? Not being able to reach the record.
I mean, I would have taken a draw in that game with the mistakes we had, and we still would have had a chance to get 100.
Yeah, I don't know. What's interesting to me about the Arsenal game is that we literally beat ourselves. And I haven't seen us beat ourselves in a long time. A long time.
Yeah, Arsenal was actually pathetic that game.
They were so pathetic that they were horrible.
And then they turn around and beat Man City. But again,
they played well though. They played well in that game.
They did. They defended well, and they had Alba in the whole game. Like, he's just dangerous.
Yeah, he is.
And like, I think in the Liverpool Arsenal game, and Arteta said this. He said, Liverpool just showed that how much better they are at us in every aspect of the game, or something to that effect.
Yeah, and Arsenal have been known to really excel in the FA Cup. I mean, that is pretty much their tournament, I think it's safe to say. But as far as playing out from the back in Mikel Arteta's style, he wants to do that. And Arsenal just, at the moment, don't have the personnel or the composure on the ball to do so. You know what I mean? And that's why we were forcing them to make turnovers with our pressing, and that game was so frustrating. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'll put a little tag up top for the post-match analysis. Go check that out. But let's get into Thiago, all right? So Thiago, the reports came out this week that he has officially agreed terms with Liverpool, and Klopp has kind of like given the go-ahead to go ahead and sign him, basically. So sharing my screen here and let you guys see. Some news came out here that he put his house up for sale in Munich, right? Suggested that he's preparing to leave Germany for good in the summer transfer window. Now, we know he has turned down a contract extension at Munich. What do you make of this, Steve?
It's a legit site. I mean, it's a good source.
Liverpool.com.
Yeah.
But it is through the Daily Mirror, so it does says the story has been reproduced from the media, but it is from the Liverpool site, so I feel like that's as legit as you can get.
That's the strongest leg that we have to stand on.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah. It's just going to be a matter of if they can meet funds, I think.
Yeah.
And like I said in a previous video, I'll take him. We don't need him.
Right. And I read a
just like the Warriors didn't need Kevin Durant. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same, but that's just what I think about. Like, it would be nice to have him, but we don't need him.
Right. And
like,
I read
the best team in the world does not need any other players, really. Any other star players.
No. But he does add a creative aspect, and I was about to say this. He our workhorses in midfield at the moment, right? With the exception of Keita. Keita is more of our creative, technical guy, but we just have workhorses in the midfield. And I think Thiago would add a creative aspect to that. But, you know, there's another article here. Thiago agrees terms as Jurgen Klopp approves Liverpool transfer. So the Premier League champions will need to agree a fee, right? We're looking at right now, 18 million euros is what it's. I think that's the euro symbol. Maybe that's pounds. I'm not sure. But 18 million, Bayern want 36. And I've heard reports where it's like we're offering $30 million and they want $45 million. So right now it's just, I have confidence in Michael Edwards though. The man is going to negotiate. If this is true, the man is going to negotiate this down and we're going to get him for a steal. Given he's on his last year of his contract, he's 29. There's so many factors at play. He turned down the contract and like all that decreases his value.
Yeah, it'll be a thrifty bit of business if you ask me. They're not getting their asking price. He's probably worth $50 million. 50 million, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
In today's market.
In today's market, I don't know. I feel like 45 is good. 40, 45 is probably accurate.
Sorry, not today's market. Pre-COVID market.
Pre-COVID, he's probably 50.
Totally inflated market. He's probably worth at least 50.
Yeah. If Naby
We're going to get him for half that.
But the thing is, Naby Keita he was probably worth 60, and we talked him down to 54 or whatever we got him for. And if you look at that, Keita was way younger. He was 23, I think, when we got him. Or 20. He may have been 22 when we agreed the deal, but we had to wait the year. So 23, 54, Thiago's 29. It'd be a stretch in this market to say he's worth 45, in my opinion.
Well, the market's been inflated since that. That was like 3 years ago.
Yes, and that furthers my point. Like, since it was inflated when we bought Keita, now it's deflated. You look at Thiago. Thiago should be worth 30.
COVID aside. COVID aside.
Yeah, COVID aside.
Completely aside, Thiago's worth 50 million.
Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think down below? Let us know what you think. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. We're going to get him for half that, hopefully. And the other thing with Keita is, like, he just didn't have the name. Like, Thiago's name is worth money. You know what I mean?
Great point.
He's going to bring money in. People are going to buy those jerseys. People want to see him. It's exciting. Keita's like, oh, Naby Keita, like, he could be great, but we don't know. Thiago's proven. Right. So, like, it's...
And when was the last time, I think Xabi Alonso maybe, when was the last time we had a really good Spanish international? Like,
Moreno?
Moreno?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm sure there's one, but I just can't think
of it. Yeah, I feel like Xabi may have been the last one.
Oh, no, Torres.
Right? Oh, wait, no. Torres, you're right. Crap. Yeah, Torres. Well, yeah, but, Spanish international, yeah, you're right. Probably selling jerseys and all that stuff. How could I forget Torres? Maybe it's because of the move. That move was just ridiculous. But, yeah, guys, and then additionally, Yasser Larouci, man. The reports are saying that Yasser Larouci is probably going to leave Liverpool at the end of his contract to get first-team football, which is understandable. A lot of players did that. Connor Brannigan or whatever his name was. The guy Teixeira went to Porto. A lot of these guys leaving under Klopp just to get first-team football. I was looking forward to see Yasser Larouci. I thought he had a lot of talent. We saw his talent in the Sevilla game up in Boston, actually. And he looked great, man. What do you think about this?
He's just not going to sniff the pitch. I don't blame him. Look, he's at an age he's at the point in his career where, like, people like Robertson at that age, they want trophies. People like Thiago, 24 to whatever, 29, 20, 25 to 30. Like, that's when you leave clubs to win trophies.
You know how old Yasser Larouci is, right?
No.
Yasser Larouci may be like 18.
Yeah, that's my point. This is my point.
Oh.
At 18, you just want to play.
I missed
game.
That.
You don't want to sit there and admire Robertson all day long for the next 5 years.
Right.
Like, you're not sniffing the pitch at all. Right. You might get a shitty cup game. One.
Yeah.
You'll come on, pull a hammy because you haven't played.
No, it's true.
No, but dude, that's the thing. They want to play. They love the sport. They're trying to become like seasoned professionals and hone their skills. And you need first team football.
Absolutely. It's completely understandable. But from a fan standpoint, I want to see the kid develop here. Send him out on loan. That's fine. Send him out on loan. If he wants to go to like a, maybe like a championship side. I don't know if he's quite at that level yet. Maybe a League Two or not League Two, but League One maybe, or maybe send him abroad or something, But yeah, I think with Nico Williams able to cover both sides and Milner still in the lineup, yeah, we don't really have any spots for him unless it's like one cup game or, he's probably playing for the U23s and that's just not the same intensity.
No, not at all. And he trains with the first team, so he probably feels like he can. But people of his age, they just want to play.
Yeah.
There's not many people that are willing to take that back seat, and be like happy about it. Like he's probably just being honest with himself, and he's like, look, like people leave clubs all the time to chase trophies. Like I'm just leaving to play. I just want
Right.
to play.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to me, it seems like we have a lot of youth talent, and I feel like Klopp's been doing a good job of fostering that talent and letting players that are good go out on loan, and players that he doesn't see a future at the club, letting them go. So maybe Klopp knows something I don't. Maybe he sees Larouci every day, and maybe he just doesn't see. Maybe it's the defensive side because he can get forward. He's very quick. Maybe it's the defensive side of the game he doesn't quite see. Moreno. Moreno was excellent going forward, right? He had a good shot on him. He could cross the ball. He just could not defend, right? And Klopp doesn't like that. Klopp doesn't like a player that doesn't have a defensive work ethic. So who knows? Who knows what that is? Let us know what you guys think down below about that. But let's get into our remaining fixtures for the year. So we got Chelsea coming up on the 22nd, and then Newcastle on the 26th. And we are at home for the Chelsea match, and then we are at St. James's, I think is the name of the park. I forgot it for a second. St. James's for Newcastle.
It's tough. 2 tough games.
Yeah.
With a team that just doesn't look like they want to play at all.
Yeah, that hurts me. You know what I mean? It's like they're so checked out.
But they're not in the beginning of games. They look great in the beginning.
They look
and then
good
one
the
thing
whole
goes
Arsenal
wrong,
game.
and it's true. But like Allison and Van Dijk, they were just lazy.
I don't know if it was necessary.
Like they could have done something else there. They both could have. They weren't like that wasn't their only option. Allison could have cleared that.
Do you think it was lazy, or do you think
I think he just thought like, oh, I got this, no big deal. Like I can just tap this over here.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you just gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I said this on my video. I said that Allison has one of the best completion percentages pass completion percentages of any keeper in the Premier League. The man, he's so good on the ball. I mean, we saw it when I think it was in the first half. But the man, like, he was getting pressed and the ball was still bouncing, and he just jumped up and kicked it like off the volley out to Trent.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, he's good.
It makes me nervous. Like I know he's good, but I just get so nervous.
Yeah. It's just, it was one of those matches, man. It was just like, I wouldn't say we played bad, like we were saying, but once that first goal went in from the mistake, it was like our belief was gone. Our confidence was gone. We were like, all right, that just happened. What are we going to do now? Like, and it just seemed like we going forward, we were so good. I think we were really good. People are going to argue and say that we weren't. I thought we were really good. We weren't clinical, and Arsenal were getting men behind the ball. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Against Chelsea, I don't know. We can't make mistakes like that. Chelsea are way better than Arsenal.
Yeah. Well, they got beat by Southampton?
Sheffield. Southampton, they beat them too. Southampton are on an amazing run right now.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Danny Ings.
What a legend. He's got like 20 goals, bro.
It's unbelievable, man. That Southampton move was perfect for him.
Does he have 20 yet?
I think he has 20. He's the first player in, I want to say like 2008. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. First player for Southampton since 2008 to get 20 goals in a season.
An absolute legend.
Absolute legend, bro. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, he's legit.
He is. Yeah, but against Chelsea, we cannot make those mistakes, okay? Chelsea have firepower going forward. Pulisic is killing it right now. They still have Willian. Olivier Giroud is killing it all of a sudden. Like, they have options. And if we make those mistakes against Chelsea, usually we play well against Chelsea. But if we do make those mistakes against Chelsea, we're going to lose. We're going to lose bad.
It doesn't even matter at this point. Like, I hear you. But we can't get the record.
You're so set on this record.
Yep, we can't get the record. We already won the league. Sure, I'd like to finish with 99 points or whatever it could be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, We had 97 last year.
So if we get 99, that's an improvement from last year.
It is. It is. But we could have had 107, bro. We could have had 110.
Yeah. Yeah. It just comes down to it's hard to motivate a team that has literally accomplished their goal for the season.
Yeah, they won every single trophy in their path except the FA Cup.
Yeah, and the Carabao Cup or whatever. But yeah, it's tough. Now, what about Newcastle, right? Newcastle looking decent, from the highlights I've seen. I haven't really sat down and watched a full game for them, but from the highlights I've seen, Newcastle are looking pretty good. They're different, man. It's like they have good options going forward. Almiron, St. Maximin, they have good players, but it just seems like they're streaky. They go through phases where they're good, and then they go through phases where they're not. And it's like, I don't know, being that it's an away match, I could see it being tough. But at the same time, like last year at the end of the season with Origi, Origi had to get the header at the last minute to beat Newcastle. You know what I mean? So it's like it's going to be a tough match, I think.
Yeah. No, it's going to be tough, especially on the road, like you said. I don't know what's going to happen. Newcastle could go either way. It could be 4-0 or 0-0. I have no idea.
Yeah, it could be. It's just a tough match to play there. But who do you think, I want to get into this, a shorter show today, but I do want to get into this. Who do you think is your player of the season for the squad?
What a question. I think about this all the time.
You can have a couple. That's fine. And you just justify it,
Yeah, I do, and they're not the typical. Obviously, I think Henderson. Not only because he's just fought through so much fire and adversity and like hatred over the last 6, 7, whatever years.
Yeah.
10. I don't even know how long it's been.
He's been here like 9 years, I think.
9 years. To get to the the point where he's such a crucial part of the system that when you take him out, it looks like a different team. And we rely on him so much. He's just rock solid. He gives you 100%. His passing is top notch. He doesn't give the ball away. He's a vocal leader on the pitch. He's getting forward. He's creating. In my opinion, he's one of them. The other person I would say is obviously Van Dijk. And I'm starting to take Van Dijk for granted because aside from the other day, he's just rock solid all the time. People don't understand. I shouldn't say that. You have to understand how hard it is to be rock solid every time you step on the pitch against some of the best footballers in the world. He doesn't even blink. No one can say, "Oh, I tore up Van Dijk that game." You might get by him once, maybe once like he gets dribbled by like once a season, maybe. You might be able to say that, like Richarlison. Yeah. I dribbled past him. Richarlison, we're talking about 1 10-second stint. That's what he hangs his hat on. He dribbled past Van Dijk for what, 3 seconds? That just shows you how good Van Dijk is. That's what's on Richarlison's mind. He's not thinking about winning.
It's hard to think about winning when you play for Everton.
DVD, right? Like, get out of here, bro. I have no time for that.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Trent Alexander-Arnold. What a fucking star he's turning into.
He's so good.
Transfer Market has him ranked like the number 2 player in the world.
Which is remarkable value-wise. Value-wise.
Unbelievable. His passing, his crossing, when he shoots, his corners, his set pieces.
He has the best long ball in the world. He has the best long ball in the world.
When he's not in there, it's like, oh boy, we have nothing going forward up that right side. Salah's out there just drying up because no one can feed him. No one's getting a header today because there's no crosses coming in from the right side.
It's crazy. You got to rely on Robertson. Hey, I read a stat the other day between the two of them this season in all comps, or maybe it was the last 2 seasons, 45 assists.
Yeah, they're just making it. I think it's 44. Actually.
45.
Yeah, they're making it rain from the corner. But
it's unreal.
Those are my 3. There's so many other good players that I want to give recognition to, but
we'll
save that for the end of the season. Players of the year, Trent Hendo, Virgil. I don't have an order, but what a season. What a season.
What an absolute season. I'm going to agree with you 100%. Henderson. Henderson is my guy. And I think it really hits home against that Arsenal match. You know, people will disagree with me. That's okay. Let me know what you guys think. When he's not on the pitch, like you said, Steve, there's no energy, pace to the attack. We have possession, right? We have possession, but no one is forcing the tempo. That's the word I'm looking for. No one is pushing the tempo. Henderson gets the ball and he whips the ball as hard as he can to the other side of the field. And that immediately sets the tempo. Like when you have a player whipping the ball, your immediate instinct is to play at that pace. And that's what he does. And like you said, he's a vocal leader on the pitch. He was able to he scored a lot of goals this season for Henderson. He did. He was, and towards the end of last season too. I remember that goal against Southampton. He was so emotional when he scored that goal at the end of the season. I mean, he embodies Liverpool Football Club. So I have to give that to Henderson. My next one, Mane. Mane is just incredible, man. I love Mane on the pitch. I think Mane brings just this element of attack that is so unique. You know, I mean, I got to give Leroy Sané credit because when Sané was on the pitch, I feel like Sané had the same kind of element that Sadio Mane does.
Leroy Sané is such a good player.
Such a good player. I mean, it's like Sadio Mane, you know, like we were talking about this a few shows ago.
So much swag.
So much swag. But like Sadio, like he may go a couple games without a goal, but he nicks them in like throughout the season. And before you know it, he's at 15, 20 goals. You're like, how'd he get there? You know? And his just on the counterattack, Sadio Mane is deadly. You know? I mean, really our whole team is. But on the counterattack, Sadio Mane can finish against anybody. And we needed that. We desperately needed that. Before we brought him in, we didn't have anyone that could just flat out finish on the counterattack. And just the speed he brings, you know? He's able to drop deep. He's able to just put defenders on skates. You know what I mean? Like, he is so good. I'm going to give it to Mane. And I think Trent. Trent has to be the other one, man. Trent just improves and look, I understand Van Dijk, Alisson, great players, but they're just always so good to me, you know? And it's like, they're just staples in the side. But, I mean, I got that out of the way. I think when Trent is on the field, like you were talking about, the diagonal passes, the switching, the speed of the switches and the accuracy, it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. There's a few things he could work on, of course. He could work on his defense. His defense could be better, okay? But he isn't attacking. He's kind of a wingback. Like, both of them are kind of wingbacks. You know, a lot of people say he's going to move into the midfield. I don't think he will. I think he's perfect where he's at, okay? And his crossing, man. You cannot take this for granted. He is so good when he's not in the match. I mean, Nico Williams, maybe in the future. Like he's looking promising, but man, we just have some amazing players and we got to appreciate them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Trent he can just do so much on the field. Like he's just so crucial. So the other thing is, to your point about Alisson and Van Dijk, I totally agree. It's just like, oh, they're so good all the time. But it kind of like reminds me of like LeBron James. Like he could win MVP every year because he's just so consistent. But like, I don't think that should work against them. But unfortunately, that's how it is. Like Van Dijk won PFA Player of the Year last year, right?
Yeah.
Like he's probably not going to get it this year. But I bet if you looked at the numbers, they were probably the same.
Well,
and last year was better.
Last year was the year where it was like he hadn't been dribbled past until like I don't think he had been dribbled past until this season when we played Salzburg and Wang Hee-chan or Minamino. I can't remember which.
I think it might have been Minamino who did the carved him up a little bit.
Carved him up. Van Dijk committed to the challenge, and he just was like, "Sorry," and then whipped a shot at Alisson. I mean, I feel like that was the first time someone dribbled past him, man.
Yeah, but I don't think dribbled past, sure.
I mean, well, you know what I'm saying.
Well, he's got more goals this year, doesn't he?
Van
Isn't
Dijk?
it 4, 5? Yeah.
You got me.
Scored 2 against Brighton, 1 against United.
I gotta
right?
check. I gotta check.
I'm
But
pretty sure he's got better numbers this year too. Like you could give it to him, and no one would have a leg to stand on if they wanted to oppose it
no,
for PFA. And then you got De Bruyne. De Bruyne is the only other person in the conversation, in my opinion.
he's so good.
No one else is there. He is good. He's great, but no one else is even in the conversation. I don't think it's either going to be a Liverpool player or Kevin De Bruyne.
No one really. You know, I
Who
mean,
else?
there's always the argument in terms of value. There's always the argument of Sterling. You know, Danny Ings. Like Danny Ings is the kind of player where you're like, wow, he went from like being injured for 2 straight seasons to coming to Southampton and being a top goal scorer. That's criteria for PFA Player of the Year, in my opinion. Like just a complete difference maker. Like he really did make a difference. You know, you can also look at Jamie Vardy again. Jamie Vardy, 20 plus goals again. I mean, the guy is 33 or 32. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but his team absolutely folded.
Yeah, well,
that's why Danny Ings won't get it, because the team's not good enough.
That's the thing. And you know, you're really a product of your environment. So it's like you're not going to get it if your team's not great.
Right. And if he's on Liverpool, he's not even playing. Clearly. So
right.
Like you're not the best player in the league.
Yeah.
It should go to the best player of the season.
It should. And a lot of times it goes to goal scorers, unfortunately. Like just like the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's what's insane to me. Virgil van Dijk wasn't he like runner up or third for the Ballon d'Or?
He was number 2.
It's unbelievable. He's a defender. Like
yeah, he should have won it though.
He
was better at his position than Messi was at his.
There is no question Virgil van Dijk should have won that. No question. That was one of the best defensive seasons I've ever seen. It's remarkable. Guys, let us know what you think down below. That's it for this week's Sunday Summary Talk Show. We appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it and give it a thumbs up. Steve, do you have any closing thoughts?
We're going to hoist the trophy on Wednesday.
The Hendo Shuffle.
Oh, God, the Hendo Shuffle. He's going to tear something.
Hendo, when he looks mad. It's like there's so much passion. When he lifted the Champions League trophy, like if you go look at the pictures, he's like,
yeah,
he's absolutely angry.
He loves it. This one, the Premier League feels really good. Can't wait to see that.
You think we'll see some tears?
Yeah.
What?
Quick question, last one. What do you feel better about, Champions League or Premier League?
Champions League.
Me too, bro.
Me personally.
What a feeling that was. I cried.
The Champions League one, I did.
Yeah.
And,
what a wow.
And I'm not undermining the Premier League. The Premier League is a way bigger deal. Okay. But I think this is just me speaking objectively. I think it's a bigger deal for the people who have supported Liverpool since the last time they won it, right? I haven't supported Liverpool since 92 or 90, whenever we won it last, right? I haven't supported them since then. So for me, it was like seeing them win the Champions League after losing it the year before and then losing the Europa League final against Sevilla. It's like, that was an amazing feeling for me. But obviously the Premier League is a way bigger deal for the actual club. But for me, Champions League, definitely.
Yeah.
You? Same thing?
Do it. Yeah, Champions League. That'll do it.
Absolutely. What do you guys think? Was it the Premier League or Champions League down below? All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, take care.